Where can you find one of the greatest streets in America? A city with a charm that is captivating, where founding fathers of the country frequented a tavern that is still open today, and a city where locals from around Washington come to dine, to stroll, and to shop. Today we are talking about the pros and cons of living in Alexandria, Virginia. Let's get started. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, working, playing, the good and the bad of Washington, D.C. and the surrounding suburbs like Alexandria, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications. I release new videos every week and you'll be the first to know. My name is Brad. I'm a local real estate agent serving Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia, and Maryland. I've lived in all three, so I love helping people choose the best city for them. So whether you're moving next week or next year, I know you have questions, reach out or schedule a Zoom. My contact information is below. I'd love to help you make a smooth move to Washington, D.C. Alexandria was founded in 1749 and it played a significant role in the American Revolutionary War. What's cool is you can see the well-preserved colonial architecture, cobblestone streets, and the historic buildings. However, the city has been tastefully updated with modern amenities. The charm of Alexandria is definitely a pro. The heart of the city's charm lies in Old Town Alexandria, or as the locals call it, Old Town. It's a picturesque neighborhood with well-preserved 18th and 19th century buildings. Old Town is filled with over 200 boutiques, shops, restaurants, art galleries, and many beautiful homes. Also, Alexandria's waterfront along the Potomac River is beautiful and has been named among the best in the country by Fedor's Travel. Many people enjoy strolling along the waterfront, taking a boat cruise, or exploring the historic sites like the Torpedo Factory Art Center. The Art Center was literally a Navy torpedo factory that was later converted to hold local artist studios where they can create and sell their art. It's a very cool place. The city is also home to many historic buildings and mansions, including the Carlisle House and Gatsby's Tavern. Back in the day, George Washington and Thomas Jefferson were known to have a few pints in Gatsby's Tavern, which is still open to this day. King Street is the main thoroughfare in Old Town. It's lined with boutique storefronts, which is perfect for leisurely walks, shopping, or street-side dining. The architecture is well preserved and gives a real sense of a bygone era. There's a very vibrant dining scene throughout Old Town. The 100 block of King Street is the epicenter. And that block is permanently closed to cars, which allows for many more outdoor tables and more pedestrians. Most of the time there's a live jazz saxophonist or a small jazz band playing out there. The American Planning Association is the one who named the street one of the greatest streets in America. The city celebrates its history with the George Washington Birthday Parade and the Scottish Christmas Walk Parade, which includes historical reenactments. And 8 miles south of Old Town is Mount Vernon, which is George Washington's beautifully preserved home and estate. It's the most visited home in America. And around the city, guided walking tours are pretty popular as well, where you can explore the city's history and depth and hear about stories about its founding and many of its notable residents. The amazing job Alexandria has done preserving its history and architecture makes for a very charming city and is definitely a pro. Alexandria is located just 7.5 miles south of Washington, D.C. Its location, or more specifically, its proximity to D.C. is a big plus. The Potomac River separates the two, but there's several bridges that connect them. The city is well connected by public transportation as well, including the Washington Metro subway system, buses, commuter rail services, and there's a water taxi as well. Because of its close proximity, many people who live in Alexandria often commute to D.C. or Arlington for work or leisure activities. Arlington, by the way, is 7 miles from Alexandria. In addition, Amazon's second headquarters now lies 4.5 miles north of the city, directly in between Alexandria and Washington. It's a campus that will continue to grow, eventually with 25,000 employees in the area. Airport access is easy, as Reagan National Airport is 3.5 miles from Alexandria. I personally love flying out of Reagan, as it's the fastest of the two major airports we have from arrival to gate. Since there are no customs facilities at Reagan's, flights are limited, mostly domestic flights. There are 91 nonstop flights to 100 domestic destinations and 5 international destinations. And American Airlines maintains a hub at the airport. Also, Dulles International Airport is 33 miles away from the city. Overall, the proximity of Alexandria to downtown Washington has led to a vibrant region that benefits from shared resources, culture, amenities, and economic opportunities. This is definitely a plus for Alexandria. Here's another pro. Alexandria is known for its walkability. The city is laid out in a grid pattern, but it has these short blocks and narrow streets that naturally encourages walking. It has a good mix of residential, commercial, and retail spaces near most neighborhoods, which is great for walking to shops, restaurants, or entertainment. The walkability score in the city of Alexandria is 99 out of 100, which is amazing. Some neighborhoods are walkable, where others, the walking is primarily done for exercise or dog walking. By the way, Alexandria is very dog friendly. It includes a dog friendly bark house. You can go have a drink while your dog plays with other dogs. There are also 10 dog friendly parks. Also, the city has done a good job investing in sidewalks and crosswalks, which seems to encourage slower traffic. And there's a good mix of public transportation, included buses and the metro rail system. We just call it the metro. There are 4 Alexandria metro stations, and they can take you to 95 other stations throughout Virginia, D.C., and Maryland. Another plus about walking that I've found, I love Alexandria's architecture, the well-maintained homes and gardens, which make it really enjoyable for walking. It's literally hard for me to walk a block without pulling out my phone to take a picture. Alexandria has also invested in bike lanes and bike sharing programs and has a bike score of 83. The Mount Vernon Trail is one of my favorite recreational biking trails in the entire DC area. The trail runs from George Washington's Mount Vernon estate through Alexandria to Roosevelt Island, so it links Alexandria to DC and Arlington. It's an 18-mile winding trail that passes through park sites, yacht clubs, wetlands, neighborhoods, and wooded acres along the Potomac River. Are there job opportunities in Alexandria? While Alexandria has a thriving economy, in the past, job market in the city itself has been known to be limited. However, now with Amazon's second headquarters nearby in National Landing, it's evolving into a technology hub, a big plus for the city. It's home to innovative startups and established tech companies offering positions in software development, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and the tech center is booming. Amazon is investing $2.5 billion to occupy 4 million square feet of office space and creating at least 25,000 full-time jobs in the area. They're now calling it National Landing. It encompasses part of Alexandria and Arlington. It's truly a game changer for the area. Because of Amazon's commitment, the area now has become a magnet for other tech companies. The average household income for Alexandria is $142,000, and with access to downtown Washington and Arlington, the job opportunities are definitely a pro. There are tremendous opportunities in the government sector and public sector, all the third parties that support the government, international organizations, advocacy and lobbying, a significant legal sector, education and research, healthcare and biomedical research, media and communications, and of course, technology and innovation. The access to job opportunities is a pro for Alexandria. When it comes to things to do, Alexandria has access to unlimited choices, really, which is a major pro. You have the waterfront where you can enjoy the scenic views with a boat, a kayak, a canoe, or paddleboard, or take a sightseeing boat cruise. There is the mansion, gardens, and museum of George Washington's home, Mount Vernon, which is 7 miles south of Old Town. It's a beautifully well-preserved estate with activities all year round. You can wander through the Torpedo Art Factory Center where you can view and purchase works from local artists. At the Carlisle House, which is a historic mansion, you can learn about the founding of the United States or discover innovations at the National Inventors Hall of Fame. For a unique experience, you can take a guided culinary tasting or ghost tour in the city. What can't be emphasized enough is Alexandria's proximity to Washington, D.C. It also allows you to explore over 70 museums showcasing art, history, culture, admire the U.S. Capitol, the White House, the Lincoln Memorial, the Supreme Court, or the Library of Congress. The Library of Congress is an amazing building. I highly recommend a tour there. Trust me, it's no ordinary library. You can enjoy a stroll through charming neighborhoods like Georgetown or Capitol Hill, or take in a professional sports game, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, tennis, which are all played at venues 7 miles from Alexandria. The NFL football games are currently played about 19 miles away in Maryland, though the stadium lease is up in 2027, and there's talks of moving the team to another location. It's worth noting that DC has sports fans from all over the world, so whatever your team of choice is, you'll be welcome at the games here. DC is also home to 22 Michelin star restaurants. Or if you love music, there are so many amazing venues in and around DC, from small jazz, blues clubs like the Blues Alley, to the Anthem, to the 930 Club, all the way up to stadium venues like the National Stadium. Alexandria also has the Birchmere, where you can enjoy music in a barn-like style supper club atmosphere. Been there many times. It's very cool. But the combination of what Alexandria plus DC offers is really hard to beat for entertainment. And I've just scratched the surface with what I've mentioned, so you will definitely not be bored here. Let's talk about another pro and a favorite subject of mine, food. I'm not a good cook, but like most people, I love going out to eat. Alexandria is a great choice for foodies, from its historic dining to farm-to-table options, fine dining, coffee shops and bakeries, and its waterfront dining options. Old Town is really known for its historic ambiance, and there are many charming restaurants and eateries to choose from. Most of them are in historic buildings. Alexandria is located on the Potomac River, which means access to the Chesapeake Bay, so there is a strong seafood presence. Restaurants serve dishes like Maryland blue crabs, oysters, and fresh local fish. Hank's Oyster Bar is a favorite of mine. They have great food and great craft cocktails as well. The Wharf is also a good choice. Alexandria's diverse population also contributes to an array of ethnic restaurants. You'll find Italian, French, Mexican, Thai, Middle Eastern, and I'm sure I'm not even covering them all. The farm to table movement is found in many Alexandria restaurants as well. The Study restaurant comes to mind in that regard. And for those who are seeking upscale dining experiences, Alexandria boasts like several fine dining restaurants. And with its waterfront along the Potomac River, there are restaurants and cafes with some pretty cool scenic views. Also, after a great meal, it's common to enjoy a scenic walk around the city. I know I'm certainly guilty of that. Alexandria also has a growing number of gastropubs and craft breweries, offering a combination of delicious foods and locally brewed beers. The Old Hat Bar is one of them. There's also a thriving coffee culture, serving artisanal coffees, pastries, and desserts. So, what about a farmer's market? Well, every Saturday, rain or shine, there's a farmer's market in Old Town, the oldest one in the country. And apparently George Washington himself used to send produce there back in his day. There are over 70 vendors offering fruit and vegetables and meats and cheeses and breads and cut flowers and potted plants and jewelry and art. The city also does these cool food and culinary tours that allows visitors to explore different neighborhoods and learn about the city's culinary history. So food is definitely a pro for Alexandria. Let's talk about schools. This category is definitely a pro. Alexandria is unique in that it's served by two different school systems, Fairfax County Public Schools and Alexandria City Public Schools. The quality of education of both school systems makes it an attractive place for families with children. Fairfax County Public Schools receives an overall grade of A, an A- for academics, an A- for teachers, and an A+ for college prep, according to niche.com. Also for athletics, they typically rank in the top 5 best school districts in Virginia. In Alexandria, you'll find Thomas Jefferson High School for science and technology. It's a Virginia state chartered magnet school. Niche.com ranks TJ High School an A+ for academics, teachers, and college prep. They also have designated Thomas Jefferson High School as #1 in the best public high schools in Virginia, and U.S. News ranks TJ #1 in the nation and scores it 100 out of 100. The city of Alexandria is served by Alexandria City Public Schools. There's 18 schools, including 2 middle schools, 2 K-8 schools, 1 pre-K school, and Alexandria City High School, which has 4 different campuses. Niche.com gives the school system an overall score of a B-, a C for academics, and an A- for college prep. Alexandria has several private schools that provide alternate education options as well. There are a wide choice of athletics at both high schools, and many of these sports support boys and girls versions. Let's talk about the cons. It's an amazing city. Definitely worth a visit here to see its beauty. However, there are a few things you do need to know. The first is Alexandria is a relatively expensive place to live. It's 37% higher than the state and national averages. The higher costs come from food, which is 10% higher, transportation, which is 75% higher, and goods and services typically cost about 10 to 12% higher. And like many cities in this area, housing is the biggest driver of the high cost of living. The average price for a 2-bedroom is $530,000. A 3-bedroom on average will cost $886,000. A 4-bedroom around $1.1 million, and a 5-bedroom averages for $1.5 million. There are certainly a range of neighborhoods and price points. For example, 3-bedroom homes have sold for as little as $250,000 or as high as $3.5 million. And of course, the closer you get to Old Town, the higher the price. You can see my other video tour of Alexandria for a closer look at some of the different neighborhoods throughout the city. Another con is traffic. Commuter traffic specifically is something to consider. Arlington is a bedroom community for most people working in Washington D.C. area, including National Landing. This leads to significant commuter traffic during weekday rush hours. Some areas that are more prone to congestion include Interstate 395, the Woodrow Wilson Bridge, Route 1 corridor, which is also known as Richmond Highway, the George Washington Memorial Parkway. There are HOV lanes on certain roadways that provide an incentive for carpooling with 2 or more passengers, and these lanes do typically move faster. The good news is that in a post-COVID world, more companies are allowing remote work, which has eased the traffic some, but there's still a lot of cars on the road. Also, Alexandria is a historic city with numerous attractions and shops and restaurants. So during weekends and holidays, increased tourist activity can contribute to additional traffic, especially in the popular areas like Old Town. I recommend using Waze or Google Maps to get real-time traffic information, even when you know where you're going. I've found that it will save you, avoiding major backups or road closures. The average commute for people in Alexandria is 32 minutes, according to Data USA. And at non-rush hour times, expect a drive to DC to take 15, 20 minutes. When traffic is congested, expect that to rise to 35 minutes or more on the worst days. Okay, so we have talked about the many pros and cons of Alexandria. Its captivating charm, the key location and proximity to Washington, D.C. and Arlington, its walkability, the strong job market, which should continue to improve. We touched on a few of the endless things there are to do in this area, the delicious food, the highly rated schools, including the top-ranked high school in the nation. We also discussed the cost of living and traffic. I know you may have questions, so feel free to reach out. My contact information is below. Also, check out the other videos about Alexandria, as well as all the other cities in Washington, D.C. area. I will see you on the next one.